Hey, what's up, team? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology. This video is just a little update on what's going on with me and what I want to do with extroverted thinking. And what I mean by that is I've always had some difficulty with extroverted thinking, and this is in real life as well as in the kind of RPG model that I'm using for, explaining the cognitive functions. And I think the general idea of them being a magic user and kind of controlling the environment like a geomancer works, but I've had some complaints. I don't know, not necessarily complaints, but like some ETJs have mentioned to me that they don't really like the idea of being a mage. They don't feel that they are a mage. My ESTJ friend always plays as a paladin when that's the option, and then the next choice is a mage. I have an ENTJ friend who likes to do more stealthy kind of things, rogues and stuff like that. But I think that the general idea is there that it should be a mage-ish kind of controlling the resources, the elements, the environment. And the problem was that, for example, for feeling, I have the cleric as the extroverted healer because they're more up close. They're more like a paladin, right? And then the introverted healer is more defensive, more in the back, shielding, preventing damage, but not actually going up there and making things better, not mending wounds necessarily. For extroverted thinking, I want to go in the same direction as the cleric, so making them more melee, kind of like a battle mage. I really like the idea of being a commander, the efficient commander. I like those words. But so kind of the word I'm leaning towards right now is Runemaster. And it's still using runes like I envisioned with the Geomancer. Extroverted thinkers are resourceful. These rune masters are resourceful. They use the elements around them and try to make things go, right? That's how they complete their goals. They're using what is around them. And they have that commanding aura, attitude, and they are tactical. They use logical relationships, cause and effect, to get to where they want to go. And they systematize it. They make it easier to reach the goals for themselves and for other people. And sometimes, yes, that's seeing things, a lot of times, it's seeing things objectively, right? And not letting the healing aspects cloud their vision and get in the way. But that doesn't mean that they don't fight for justice and things like that. And so I think the Runemaster could be that style that's more leaning towards a paladin, but still a magic user. And why I like runes so much is I was reading Lenore Thompson's book, Personality Types, and she was explaining extroverted thinking as like when we're young, when we're little babies and we're throwing spoons and stuff all over the place, we learn the causal relationship, like between dropping the spoon and it hitting the floor and making that sound, and like the gravity and all these things happening together. And we kind of package that up and take it with us into different contexts. And that's how we understand what will happen in that cause and effect style. And this is something that extroverted thinkers are really good at. They use that understanding of what works to get the job done, to attain their goals, to get their achievements. And so I was thinking that it's like my D&D group, the ESTJ is a paladin, and he has a shield that has little runes and stories etched into them and like inscribed into them, and he uses those to empower himself. And so I'm thinking that the Runemaster is like that, and these are the cause and effect relationships that they've learned, that they know. And it doesn't necessarily have to make internal sense in terms of like introverted thinking would want to analyze and classify and define every little component to make sure that it really fits in this spatial kinesthetic understanding. But extroverted thinking is more okay with doing it because it works and it gets the result that they want to get. And so having those runes inscribed in their armor, not in their body necessarily, unless that's the direction you want to take it, but they can use that to attack the problems and get to where they want to go. So that was kind of ranty, but that's where I'm thinking now because I want to change this. And so it's less about internalizing and more about using those runes, using those powers of the resources, of the elements in the environment in order to get a little bit closer and do some maybe melee damage. I still like the idea of geomancers, so maybe they could summon, pillars and things like that, walls, platforms, little rises to get to where they gotta go. It's harnessing the powers of different principles and elements. That's the main point. And the runes themselves are the powers, not the internalizing understanding. That doesn't energize them like it does for a TI user. For extroverted thinkers, it's more about completing those goals, checking off those items that is going to be energizing them. Okay? And it's based on those learned patterns. Now that the car is started over there. Okay, so that is the end of this video. I want to hear your opinions on this because I'm curious to see if you guys think that this is going in the right direction. I feel that I need to kind of burn down some trees and destroy some things so that the creativity can come back and I can use this fantasy RPG model a bit better and a bit more often. Okay, so keep up the lifelong questing. Thank you very much, patrons. Everybody else, like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Thank you very much. Peace.